Ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome on the media. My name is Yusuf Tungara. I am the moderator for this program. And we will have, I will take you through the roundup of our program. That is, we will have a speech, official speech will be led by Mr. Jallo. And after that, we will have a few others who will translate or summarize the speech in local languages. Briefing or informing the general public about how we intend to go about the peaceful demonstration or protest that we apply. As we are all aware, this movement has submitted a letter to the Inspector General of Police on the 19th of this month, requesting a public act stipulated by the Constitution or by the Acts of the Public Order Act. And we plan this to brief and to inform regarding to where we intend to do a start and where we intend to end, and things that are expected of us. However, we have some news or certain news rather. On our way here, we are informed by police. We are called to report to the force headquarters, which some of our members went, and they were giving a letter that our permit was not granted. We were denied a permit to hold our peaceful protests. That by default have changed the dynamic of the press conference. That was the reason why we were strategizing and consulting among ourselves to see how we see the press conference has already been called. And the plan was to inform the public how we intend to go about it. Since we announced this press conference of these peaceful demonstrations, Gambians across the country has been reaching out the movement and desirous to lead a national peaceful demonstration. But of course, we cannot give anyone an okay because there's a law in the country and we all are expected to abide by. That is why we had several meetings before today. And today's meeting, the dynamic has a little bit shifted from the initial. And like I said, initial was to inform the general public how we intend to go about it. But now that we receive a letter that we cannot longer hold the peaceful protest due to the police injunctions, we have received the letter and they will look at the letter. And of course, we will evaluate and strategize. And after here, we will engage the police as to to see the reason why this will allow us to do it. As you are all aware, the name for the movement is the aim is to defend the Gambian constitutions, particularly the supreme law of this country. And then, because in a country where there is no rule of law, people choose and pick up how to defend the rule of law. It will only drive us into anarchy. So that is why we decided to come together as a group to make sure that is something that Gambia should not encourage. We should encourage and champion and defend the constitution and the rule of law. Because if you look at the Gambia since 1965, Gambia has its up and downs. But Gambia has been seen as a country that champions human rights and democracy. And if you talk about human rights and democracy, by extension, you talk about a country that governs the rule of law. The state, both state and the citizens, all defend and protect the principle of democracy. That is by allowing each arms to operate their function as they should. And of course, the citizens also to engage thoroughly as well as needed. In countries where there are the citizens or the society decided to choose laws when we want to obey and when not to obey, they only run those countries into anarchy. If you look at it, after 1965, and we had a Salawa Kaiwandara who led the democracy in this country, we have a stable democracy for over 31 years. So most of us then was not born in Israel when we were very, very young. And until we experience, of course, the military takeover, And since then, ever since, the whole dynamic has shifted from the democratic to autocratic. Of course, we all the governments were very much resilient and steadfast, and very much committed to the principle that our founding fathers built this country on. And of course, in 2016, Gambians come together and restore the rule of law again and democracy through ballot box, in which we have His Excellency President Adam has been democratically elected as a president. And of course, ever since there has been a series of reforms, there have been a series of political trials both by state and state operators. And of course, we can say that today there is a level of political majority in the country where the courts will rule against the state, and the state also will go against, will challenge the whatever they agree on to the democratic way. Of course, the citizens are also now free to speak up and of course and participate in our development processes. For the past 8 years, as a Gambian group, we have been enjoying that freedom of movement and association and the democracy in the country. That is why when we see a threat to that, we will not ever want to go back to a situation where you cannot be, you cannot speak up, you cannot do things that you want to do, because the neglection of the truth and beauty of the law in the country is in many countries the reason why many countries, many democratic countries turn into autocratic countries, because the militaries always take advantage of the working of that region, where the operators in the society, they choose which law to avoid and which law not to obey. And once that happens, and military will not use that opportunity and wanted to step on the democratic government. And we cannot, as young people of this country, we cannot accept that. That is why we take it up to ourselves. Defending rule of law is not it's our fundamental right. It is not our political right. It's the right of every citizen of this country to make sure that the rule of law is upheld at all levels and across the board. Where there are injustices, we all make sure that the justice are served. Of course, sometimes it will take time, but definitely with perseverance and consistency, justice will end up it will have a justice for all. For the young people, it is important for me to highlight this, because we are, like I said, we have accepted the police rejection of our families, but we will still engage them to know why we are rejected, and if there's any possibility also, we will apply it again, because we have a team in youth who are intended and are very much interested in making sure that we champion the rule of law in the country. But even just to call our attention to a few things that happened in Gambia in the last 8 years, for example, where the Supreme Court once ruled against the president, if you are all aware, that the Supreme Court once ruled against the president, the Speaker of Parliament, the nominated member of Parliament, we many people believe that should be sacked, because who have right to fire should have right to fire. But the judgment of the Supreme Court in 2019, if I remember right, 2019 I think, says that that decision was null and void, and therefore the member of Parliament was restored back against the president's desires and wants. And of course, the president, in his accepting, in his desire for promoting democracy in the country, of course, by the external Gambian government, accepted that ruling. So we having an individual exercise such a right and take such a right through court is something that we enjoy so much. And as a young people of this country, we think that this is the process we should all be putting our energy, holding our leaders accountable. And of course, as young people, again, we have seen over the years the rule of law should not be cherry-picked, not only by us, the young people, but by every constitutional authority. Because if you see what we have been seeing of recent is people choosing and thinking which law to obey and which law not to obey. So that is something that is really threatening our national security and peace in the country. And because if all decided to go, those who are this way, they go this way, and those who are this way, they go this way, it's going to take stability in the country. That is why this movement is very much promoted and suitable. But of course, at the end of the group, I will give the floor to our speaker to deliver the official speech, and that comes from the which we share with the media so that we follow coverage. And then after that, we have a few people who also be translated into our local languages.
Yusuf Tunkara, I think it's a good one. We put our hands together once more for the young man. I'm reading this statement on behalf of the executive. I'm reading this statement on behalf of the youth in defending the law. I'm reading statement on behalf of every single genuine young people of this country. Here it reads: fellow Gambians, members of the press, esteemed guests, today we rise not in protest, but in principles. We gather not in opposition to any government or political group, but in defense of something far greater, the rule of law, the sanity of our Constitution, and the future of our Republic. We, the youth, in defense of the law, stand as a non-partisan movement, hold a united and unshaken in our belief that no democracy can stand where laws are bent to serve power, or where the Constitution is treated as a suggestion rather than the supreme law of the land. We declare emphatically that the Gambia belongs to all of us, not just the powerful, not just the connected, but every citizen who cherishes justice, fairness, and peace. Our mission is simple and sacred, with the knowledge to defend their rights, to raise the alarm whenever the law is sidelined or manipulated. We also want to inspire a generation that value legality over loyalty, integrity over influence. We recognize the gains made in this new democratic dispensation, but we are also alert to the creeping dangers, impunity, constitutional disregard, and selective justice. Let it be known, we will not sit idle as our hard-earned democracy is weakened in silence. To the youth, we are not tomorrow's leaders. We are today's protectors of the democratic promise. To the state, we are not your enemies. We are your concerns. And to the world, the Gambian youths are awake, aware, and active in building a nation where laws mean something, where the Constitution is more than a document, but a living contract between the governed and who governed. We call on all Gambians to stand with us, not for politics, not for personalities, but for principles. Because when the law is defended, the nation is protected. Long live the Republic, long live the Constitution, long live the youth in defense of the law. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
That is the official statement read on behalf of the executive. I will have Mr. Talibu to translate in Mandinka. Okay, Mohammed will do the Mandinka.
So let me try to see if I can do it in Mandinka. Thank you, Talibu, for giving me the opportunity. I wish my Mandinka will suffice those that are quite fluent. I am not fluent, so don't classify me as a fluent Mandinka speaker. Yeah? This is how it reads. Nakacha konobi lafta men sembentu yala wolom na banko la marar kitabuti. Na banko la marar kitabuti ba bukangoto ka fole na constitutional oto mbenyi kibaro menta mbindelete ma fundama kunkilin kankam. Youth in defending the law kafulom and in funding ke kafulom million bulanga nyinkaramba karankam wol fanan to yala. Mba karankam fanan banko dingo be me ya lanko alaftan na loi kitabu wolom na banko maran kitabu ti ka sembentu ya nga jeko fe ofen nata pukatinya nga bala wala fen nyanta na la ka sembentu ya nga mutafe don na kacha ko no bi diamu kam malambe diamu kan kafonyi to yala mba fola ndol Gambia dingol ndol badim bum kilingol nim fondinkel mel nata jang ka kibar bungol toyala anin luntangol bil be benta jang bi wulta kuma kilin ne kam kolom tonya anin tonya tamandiramti woto na kafo bi amanke kafuti meya lonko politiko le ya wulindi wultale kan na luwa buko nyinka sembentu ya wala na banko marar kitaboti woto ka wasane yandi ka wotanka tinyaro la ka wotanka tola to jawo meya lonko dol sajeno woto wulta ka je ko wo man soto na banko kanja woto mbafala ko nim fondinkel meya lonko wolle wulta kan na banko kitabo o na marar kitabo sembentu ya ka fo youth in defense of the law illota nyine kamma ka jeko e singol bambandi lanna ya kammala demokrasi tanyala anin ka jeko na loi kitabo wala na marar kitabo ti ay taranya mi yalo ko adu kala nyabo fengoto mbe ko to fanan mba falako miraro me yalon ko ngasuto me yatin nan wultan faye kana nyim barat kitabo nyin sembentu ya anin ka tankandi o to aketa kulti amanke kitabo kense ngoti kitabo lo me yalon ko ay na banko be mara o to be kumo nyim bambande la momola ka foko nyin ka tanga mim mamande ten abembele dum be wosembentu yalla ka je ko momo mu banku din kendoti ay son tonyala ay son fataro me yalon ko anin tonyata anin na banko la kairo na la tanko woto na miraro ko lafta min sembentu yalla ji wala minti ko lafta karandirolu kela kamulu kala mutande memba tinala ndamulu la sinyoya wasike kuti me yalon ko asike kairo kono anin tenko o mu kilinneti fulanjango mu minti nsi mamman kudo kamala nin sita fonga jeko na banko marar kitabo e ba fayka nyala ima hati ima ke kitabo ti me yalon ko anyantam marala mbe wulala ka jeko nga difen sabanjango mu minti lafta fondinke lu sembentu yala ka tandila ko hanim bota jam melbe nan no man fondinke ya taroto asike kuti me yalon ko anin marar kitabo tata nyola anin kuti me yalon ko sontan na banku din ya kendola anin be sonta fanan nkana je ko na banko la taradi ka banko din kendoti akana tinyanda mangolo bolo woto nga sutero ke nyin ko kamal ka je ko demokrasi men natam fe memam me wota kada demokrasi me yalon ko mbe yaje ko nyafa kolom bari fanam amanke nyetere makuti nga kudolu je mel yalon ko abe nakan ne kan naw demokrasi nyin tinya de nyabiti lafe nde sila nga je ko to nyaman tarata makanga koto woto mbe nga lonko nde sila nga jibe tinyar lali ya tinya nde sila nga jibe mel nata ka banko nyin to tinya walete karala woto mbe wullale na banko marat kitabo demokrasi kamala nde sila nga je ko woye sembentanya woto mbe kibaro kila fondinkel ka foko manke bi damma fondinkel ka fo sama alfalo mu bi dingol le to bi fondinkel le multi melalon ko laftan na banko kitabo marar kitabo nyin tankandila e mbe kibaro men kila banko nyaton kol fanankan ka foko manke jawolti ntol fanan wultale ni be doko ke ni pareta nga jeko nyim banko sambanya tonya kan constitution o e mellandi nga ka nyamala me kibaro men kila banko lu kam melbe dunya kono oto mba fola Gambia dingolu bitilo e kunitale e karantale e lonkele e fahamroke dum e paretale ka jeko na banko sambo nyato nga ke anin luwala dum artakela kitabu timbe min tala do nga lande kitabu kelen karam woto mansa kunda ibalon na leko ntol ninni dunya molu bebe diamo menke kan kaje ko na banko la tanko sita woto mbe lafta mbe bulu yela kan ni manke pati kuti ni manke karanta kuti amanke moti amanke kuti me yalon ko mba tala karakele na karado bulaje woto banko din kendo bele nyanta ye bulu la kan naje ko nganna banko kitabu mararan kitabu nyin tankande woto me kumandiro kela banko dingo bela sakoranto dum melbe mamman kam politiko la mafa wala ka jeko ni manke kunkilin tamala koti ni manke kunkilin ta koti ka tugo loi banko na tele kambe tankande na loi kitabo na tele kambe tankande woto nyanta sonale men nyanta kambe tankande nga o horma nga bunya nga tankande woto mbe duala na banko alama nyato tanyi siala mbe duala constitution alama balula mbe duala funding kelie melia lonko e partaka nyin ko nyin sambanyata alame na tolu timala ala baraka baade
sant yalla di ci yalla Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam di nuyu Gambia ci nek ci diaspora bi Gambia ci nek fi ci rew té nak lu fi dajé jamm ak salam lu fi taxaw toog ñu ñëpp mooy pour réew mi naka la war a mën a def ñu ñëpp ñu bokk ndey ñu bokk bàyyi pour ñu rek ne suñu réew mi war nañ ko mën a aar loolu bokk na si li nga xam ne lu tax waaye DL taxaw Youth Defenders the Law mu nekk lu am solo ndax réew mi dañ gëm ne réewum démocratie la waaye réew moo xam ne tamit si loi la tënku ñu gëm tamit lépp lu waaye mutu def war na mën a tënku si li nga xam ne mooy sàtt réew mi ñu bañ a cëxat-cëxati li nga xam ne tey mooy suñu loi yoo xam ne tey suñ ko yàqee loolu mën na dugal wala mën naa dugal réew mi si mbuuta tey fi ñuy wax ak yéen bindoon leen commit on the 19 si weer bi ñu génn fi ñuy wax ak yéen ni dinaay ne li nga xam ne mooy commit waaye ba tax rek mooy dañuy ñëw waxtaan ak réew mi waxtaan ak askan bi ndax suñu dinaay pamit tamit lu war rek mooy ñu ñëpp dañ war a tënku si li nga xam ne mooy loi bi la ndax sécurité si nga xam ne wala IGP bu ñu dinaay li nga xam ne mooy pamit office of the inspector general of police ñoom autorité information bi am muy man ak keneen ak keneen amul ko kon dañ war a tënku si loolu parce que dañ la wax ne pour sécurité réussite kon yaakaar naa ñu ñëpp war nañu mën a tënku si loolu su ko defee ñu xool lan lañ war a mën a def next ndax dañu gën a continuer di apply li nga xam ne mooy famille waaye yooyu yëpp incha allah am nañ di legal advice yoo xam ne dinañu advice si wàllu woowu di wax tamit ne waaye DL amul fenn foo xam ne taxaw na dafa condamné lépp loo xam ne corruption la fii si suñu réew loolu nekk na loo xam ne tamit tey lu am la d'accord si benn corruption képp ku cexe li nga xam ne àll réew mi la soxla neen mu leer waaye si ban anam leen ko war a mën a defee mooy war nañ koo defee si anam boo xamante ne dafa war a ànd ak loi yi lépp mu tënku si li nga xam ne mooy sàtt réew mi ndax ndaw mooy alali réew kon warul nangu tey ñun ndaw yi ñuy jalkati li nga xamante ne mooy loi yoo xamante ne ñun ñëpp si leen war a tënku dañ ko war a respect bu baax su ko defee rek képp fi bëgg a dem bu nit fa dem comme ñu ñooy di future leader today parce que wax na ko léegi ñu ñooy ndaw yi tey du ndaw yi ëllëg waaye ñun ñoo nekk ñoo xamante ne ñoo war a jiite tey kon maa ngi leen sant ñëpp bu baax da leen gërëm di wax asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatullah taala wa barakatuh.
We have a 2-minute speech by each panelist. We'll start by Talib Kunjara and then proceed with you.
Be bewmen to jam funding ke wala bewolom funding ke wala yalon ko wala bu wa kantalan anin kan wa fasa bi nga wala be ki jang nin ki bartalalu anin funding ke kendol be yalon ko ingan yobe Gambia banko ya pour kaje ko dimba kana bo nyim banko kan jang banko luwala bi wo luwani be tarlo le commande ta wala la kartol fay wala kamara fanan na kitabo fanan na luwa kitabo ni a bole fasaka woto banku din kende a benya ta wulale pour kaje ko kila banku fasa ntel ngani banko de nyame wala mum be bitilo men to démocratie be kerim bake mol be puntum pantankan démocratie kono par kenya la nyata kala la be alon ko nyata kala tenkun koro ani silo ka silo muta kanna luwani ka tamande anina démocratie woto manyana cumuto hayla nga kibiri nga nyinanke kola fo nga dimba mala jang duwanta ya woto nyin kafo wulita funding kewlum iko ital mulwa kantalale bi nga press conference kele bari nga safero fanan kele ko police la bunda do kaje ko ndolde nyanta funtlale nga kaira funtoke pour kanna sewo nyitandi anin nga yamaro ke funding kewla ka fo ko nga lwa bunya par biringa di inspector general of police la ina danna pamito ni imanna swala biri man swala ndel fanan sonda luala mbe lua koma lua la ko anina nyanto amanda jela be continuer la kotake ni safe kotake fo lume na be kaito dilana barnde lua tinyala ka fundi wo nyama atar ko na banko kantar lalu ni man son nga fundi woto dalilo nyin kama nyin kafo lota pour ka luale fasa nyin kafo lota pour ka Gambia le fasa nde funding kewol kuman la moman dimbe dawdandi Gambia la regional beto tundu warulo mo bekono albe yalda bula nyin kafo nyin kono alfala yalda bula nyin kafo kono nga nyinna luwa nyin kanta andu nyin press conference kola nte danna jam bida regional to wala tinandi nga mol soto jang men ya lon ko civic education abe kono do wala mu ansuti abe tarla mol kono men ya lon ko nabe yaay register le konan loi bundala kaje kontel mu kafolati nim moyen toñin ni sita loi to nin ngamo fanan toñin ni sita loi bar man loi fanan ngamo toñin bar register le eji chambers na kaytol felenti abe mbulo kono jang ala felenti bantan la ko ntel mu loi kantalati banko din kenno kama ten ye fundi ye register banko ka loi e befo ye la nyanto kele fo ya sot bar kanay la nyanto fo be nyanto kele la luanta yakon na tarikol ci jande men yalon ko 2016 dol ma fam mol fundita ifata je luanta yakon dol bije ye sorom dol kuranta kono fo nata kele sayat wodon ko ala fele woyetere la bara la ba kan nan nyanda wutla boru wo mol birina da si ko deke ina ta wo kelo ni apply appeal ko deke ida ta fo equas ko ko al fundita menna on lawful gathering wala mu kata dulato dame yalon ko ka benje asatar ko inin loi mensual wode yal bute menna yal kun so wala yelo bondal bala wo manya nakela kalta girante ya bari membe je wala nyinde ko yal siro menna ali siro le tat wodon tol funding ke le fata wodo ke ba le fata wodo hani sai asar ko be ken ani so be ken wala tan din tol ko ali na korosir kem badin funding ke nale sin nale kacha ñi banque politique kuti al si politique siam nyaada jede bari na nyando la fanam ñindi na ndabula kudoto me alanko na banko mbole fasa wala tan di bimbi jang adum be political party wol be kumandla mbe banko diwul be kumandla musu kafu kema melbe Gambia ani melbe Gambia e bandala alal dabla ñin kafo kono wato watin ka futti banko ton ko ni nano kan nga mol sensitize mune nyanta kala adun nin dunia la ka fol be nyaatli na nyola mbe mbulo duna nyobulu ka demokrasi fasa ka loi fasa ka banko samba nyato ala baraka
musidɓe Gambia min ngari ɗo han pour salminde on hollude on minen the youth in defense of the law komin sukaɓe ɓe gandanɗa ɓe darani pour loi o kala suka jibinaɗo hande e leydi Gambia te suka mo gandanɗa ka suka woɗɗo teddugal suka ne'iɗo needi galle moƴƴiri a foti fodde ɗo luwa fonnuma kona fotani yewtude ɗo luwa fonnuma haala ka juutata min ko ɗum tan dañnomi ko miɗa haalana sukaɓe leydi Gambia on jarama je
Take question and answers from media. If there's a question for us.
What is being said is we are being sponsored, backed, behind of, and we are within the realms of the ruling party. To be precise with you, I'll give you two very good reasons why it's very clear we are non-partisan. One, our constitution that enables us to register clearly stipulates that we are non-partisan. That's number one. Because if we were partisan, we would not be given the opportunity to register, a movement which is pro a particular political party. Then we would be qualified to become a political party. That's number one. Number two, we are non-partisan because the question of who gives us funding to pay for the bills, the answer was DIY, do it yourself. It all came within the self and the people that you are seeing here and no other person. So if we are able to do what we are able to do, we are able to do it because we are self-motivated. We are motivated by the core mandate of defending the constitution of this country. And as a matter of fact, just for those that don't see, this is why we are here. And I hope I answered your question, sir.
Yeah. The next question is
So first, my question is, because we've been named as class, youth in defense of the law. And we could all agree with this because we have seen the youth that have went out in request of certain documents. This is why it was necessitated by a bill of widely held also come out. So because the 1997 Constitution guarantees, the freedom for citizens to go out and peacefully assemble, as per the Constitution of the Gambia, which is a right of every given individual in this country. So you people as a group, is there anything that is being violated as per the laws of this country with regards to the 1997 Constitution? And my second question is, we have already learned that the permit is here, that the police have rejected your permit to go outside and demonstrate. What will be the next step of why we are?
Thank you. I'll start with your second question. The next step is, like I said earlier, we will engage, we just received this when we are coming. So we send our team to go there and receive the letter. We are called to come. So we looked at this. That is one of the reasons why we a little bit delayed, because we were brainstorming as to what next, because we meant to come here to inform our Gambian public that we will be going out this day, and the plans ahead. Now this thing comes, what do we do? So we have to strategize quickly, but of course, as the name implies, we have to go by the rule of law and accept the police rejection for now, and we will engage them further as to know why we are rejected. And of course, we will not relent enough and reapply if it arise to reapply. As for your first question, when you ask which constitution or which provision was violated, and I do not know if you are making a statement or you are asking questions. If you are asking a question, the section in violation in respect to what?
Section 25.
Yes.
Section 1D, that is every citizen to go out and peacefully demonstrate without arms.
Yes. So, but we have not talked about section 25 or section, any other section, or we have not talked about violation of. We said our aim is to defend the constitution. Where there's a violation of Gambian constitution, where we intend to make sure that that violation is identified and is communicated to, and we fight to make sure that the rule of law is maintained, not only on citizens, but also by government. So this is a movement that's tend to work towards this. As for now, this is what we needed to do. I understand your question. You are implying that the rule of law has been violated, even though you have not made mention of. I think the question is rhetorical, so rhetorical questions don't require an answer. So, any other questions?
They can ask in any language. Huh?
You can ask any language. So, Wolof, Opula, Omanika. Yes. We have people who can answer you, sir. Do you want additional? Are you satisfied? Plan of action. So, simple and we have received a letter. So, the new document, with our legal advisors, to hold, strategize. Then, of course, we have a plan already to engage the Gambian police force. For you want to learn that you reject, so whatever you want to plan for you apply what, because I think that is the for now low like now for us can be. As for subsection being a lot more that lower the Vaya section section 25 or section 24. No more rhetorical question that. So question B is a rhetorical question, and rhetorical question does not require.
So I think I have one more question. This is.
Okay.
So this is because it has already been confirmed that your permit has been rejected. So for the benefit of the public, if you push, tell us the reasons stated by the police why your permit was rejected.
No, he already has it.
Yes, I think we share and copy with everyone. Why Munako reads? Munako reads, request for a permit for a peaceful march pass. The letter is as follows. Office of the Inspector General of Police acknowledge the receipt of your massive dated 19th May 2025 in relation to captioned subjects request for permit for peaceful march pass. After careful consideration and evaluation of your request, we regret to inform you that the permit has been denied due to security reasons, including high tendency of other people with ulterior motive to join you. Kindly accept assurance of Inspector General of Police in maintenance of peace and security at all times. Thank you. Signed by Ibrahim Abba, AID, for Inspector General of Police. This is the letter we received from them. So we shall engage them further. I will not also deny us, preclude any other alternatives. So we will use instrument of law to make sure that we got the permit to protest if need arise. Thank you. So because Nimen Kadabi, police or deny permit. Nintel police or deny it, already we have mobilized our resources mobilized. In the Pemol Bill and the Tisha will be Santali, we will lie. More than we have to will be spectator. In a cold bay plan and the main plan, we will Kanaka, Gambia and Bemenkel and Mamajugo, the Bolamental and Bedamental and Cold Betal and Yami. Will a more map and B. So, Nintel Mani Bay to the police not only at the last hour, police only until Fuman who deny in the permit land. To a certain extent, Intel for another right to work. But in applying the principle of rule of law, we will want to use the instrument of law. Police also have farm yanda permit into law. We engage la ngalu muna na permit denied. So because Intel for the jam, that time without the permit, which means the bango malakol. So what I am doing permit yen deny, put bango to avoid chaos and anarchy. What I am accept in a good faith, plano plan the lari, always learn the follow. So nimba police will engage lale. Hopefully next week, na along with that na yemo deny. So ni need solo dale. Na dako na ngari apply. Telling you member ni ngolo. Then we'll work on how to surpass it and then get the approval. Against looted assets is an Kapola Mayalo, Gambia funding to Lebako. So Lebako, we all were out on that day on the street. I want them to that. I know. Kapo, one bill for that. Namara, Mayatina, or starter among the Nuguni and Molaga Bango Kanya. So we are all very much critical. We have Talon and Monegada. You know, Daniel Commission, Monebiji. We want to know. Everybody is positive. Everybody is positive. So that is why everybody go out to make sure that I know fundically. So I put on in Monkey Mokilinta, in Belgium, will bury the Taula. So across the party line, so it will be very inappropriate. Put more and address group. We are out to attack a group that we are actually part of. We are not a part of it. We were not out to attack any groups. Gambia funding told Ghana is a part of the youth organization. Gambia Control Baby put the whole Natara, you are talking about the Ilapunju Volumo. As for membership, more. But the month for the Kamako at Kabo Chale. Natara Mol Bajra Winyamale. So Mona Fana, Yakapo Bendu and a couple of Mol Babuka. All for now, Lola Penny. So Kaboka Polodale, Jalwana and Niba Kapolona, Eva Kapola, Kapo Maran Kubosola, even the ID chamber, ID renewal. Whether Mola Marco, 20 years, mending Capocomola, Diamoka killings. Don't make enough that. 4, morning or toast to Leba. ID chamber, in Belcom, they will verify all this before they give approval. That is why I don't know the people, the popular institution of Venezuela. For Ghana local, we have our clear aims and objectives. So, and we have our strategic document, many along. In next 12 months, things that we want to achieve. Let me show you. This is our strategic document. We are still working on it. But this is what we want to achieve in next 12 months to make sure that we have a very nice one. If you like, I can give you the copy. You go home with it. So, Mamputikamo challenge, Mamputikamo attack. And we aim to maintain peace and stability in the country. So now, when I mean, Banco, it belongs to all of us. Mokilinda, Banco, Teda, Natiana, at the end, especially, particularly, the funding for. Can you call any Banco and Jambi? The Manua University, the Manua High School, Junior School, the last school of Delay. And not that I've been a poor to the Notol. The men with Doko and we don't have a secure job. Even the lay off, our parents will suffer. The elite will book us suffer. So we should not wear Manyang Kampang allow Kadumpo always. The instrument of law should be applied in getting a desired result. Because some of them are going in Malaga, Abela and Lokunga. You can go to the Panang, more follow the group follow men and constituency follow men Nafasotla, William Fanningo and Muso. They must see what the Bango come from Alamantankaola. More group follow me Patala. Funding to Animusol. Cardinal funding is a common sense. You must go to the school of the Sorona. This tribe would have put the school very Sorona. In Modella school, they will be at home to watch it. It was in the Sorona High School of the Sorona. No one the Batala. Nakaramo a target. Tumando from Dolphante and opportunities of the Potente. Put a character. Education is the only way
mensi banko transport is only way monsi mo gondi ko har yakuno keke fenti so ni membo na filante bi manyan naka tulum wala nandal wulta fandinke wol ngalo ne molka diamul tani de bari wala nandal wulta as fandinke wol to make so ko na me enjoy for last 8 years so ni adi before now ni ka fandinke ka foje yewuli commune jelo ka fogo de bello bango kan be diamula wote jam ada so even ni hamo betol ite hanila ite mo sotala even number mo danda membide atala the media that are here they will not come nobody will come so the democracy we have been doing for the past 8 years nimma appreciate kana song kabonye jolo ay tay bulot democracy we have democracy ko mo jamaka Gambian go kunintale side past the stage of mayor longo we know we are told that even if you vote you will not be able to remove whoever in power but saying no ko 2016 ko yara vanu carnify wala kamo sindi. How many people lost their election for the last election and week before that? Because of mole load fe. Ndel fango yalo no konna konyo do tari loda mole ni yalo ngulu. They are son of nobody, father of nobody, but because konyo mo lafte lale, load fe carte fay say keta fendi place so la jibanko kan. Muno democracy. So ndemen yalo ngo obe kiran obe ndel fandingo le sambala nyaado. Del manyan ka som mol bulu yen use pour nga banko mala. Wala nanga kumo bara mammin ko wala mi banko ba bari nga ñoo educate le nga ñoo sensitize le ya moni mu hamoni be wala pour be ndel be de nada be do kukli ngolo media and the citizen we are all the same page wala is our responsibility to make sure that we sensitize, we discuss, we agree and disagree bon ngal kukli nga song wala Gambian democracy it is here to stay and pembe manya nati nga play with it for kabo ñen jolong ay te
amna liñ fi waxtane te man suma gis mooy dëgg la làkk nañ angale làkk soose waaye suñ waree làkk olof am nañ ay déglukat yoo xam ne si olof lañ koy dégloo ay hope ne dina am fayda pour ñu wax tuuti benn su nekkee dañ koy tënk waaw ñu dem waaw li si gën a fés mooy ndaw ñi nga xam ne ñoo dajaloo form groupe bi youth in defense of the law seen éene benn affaire la rek ñu sàmm suñ téere réew fi mu nekk ni 1997 constitution bi moom lañ am so leneen ñëwoon ñëpp jàppane si boobu lañ nekk dañooy toog ne boobu la ñëpp d'accord kon ñu sàmm boobu tamit kon loolu na leer na youth in defense of the law seen jubluwaay lu leer la lu taxaw la te lu déggu la te lu fés la tamit pour gis ne ndawi réew mi liñ bugg a dooleel lu am fayda la kon su nekkee ñenn na si yéen am ngeen ay auditeur ay déglukat ñoo xam ne olof la ñuy déglu mun ngeen a laajte seen ay laajte si olof kon pour ñu gis ne intégrité bi ñëpp di ñaax pour ndawi réew mi am nañ ko bugg nañoo gis tamit ne ndawi réew mi fuñ mun di dem ñu respect leen bugg nañoo gis ne ndawi réew mi fuñ mun di waxee tamit déglu nañ leen su nekkee ne kàddu bi su ñoom seen loxo la nekk kon na ko réew mi wone kon ndaw ñi am nañ cër si réew mi cër biñ si jot a am moom la ñuy wone mooy ñu sàmm suñ téere réew mi kon duñ mun a rus oo ñu ragal mbaa ñu bàyyi dara si gannaaw loo xam ne dafa war a yóbbu réew mi si kanam kon ñu ngi ñaax ñëpp ñi nga xam ne waa réew mi lañ te ñu ngi def ay yóbbante yoo xam ne dañ bëgg mu àgga benn ci ndaw ñi pour wax leen ne nekkuñ ay kilifa ëllëg rek waaye kilifa yoo xam ne lañ dañoo sàmm téere réew mi tàmbalee ko député yi ñu ngi yónnee mbaa ñu yóbbante tamit si ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk njiiti réew mi wax leen ne nekkuñ seen ay mbañ noonoo wuñ dañ bugg a bokk ak yéen liggéey boo xam ne gis nañ téere réew mi sàmm nañ ko ni mu waree ñu ngi yóbbante si àdduna bi yëpp tamit di leen di wax ne ndawi réewi Gambia eewu nañ ndawi réewi Gambia jàng nañ ndawi réewi Gambia gis nañ li nga xam ne mooy yóbbu seen réew mi si kanam kon pare nañ ñu work together ñu sàmm suñ constitution bi ñu seetee ko téere boo xam ne téere bu ñu war a sàmm la buñ ko xoolee ni kayit boo xam ne amul solo kon ñu ngi ñaan waa réew mi kilifa yi nga xam ne mun nañoo jàppale ndaw ñi ñu xam ne ndaw ñi ñoom lañ àndal tey ñoom lañ àndal ëllëg te gannaaw élection ñëwee ñoom la ñuy àndal kon ñu ngi ñaax ñëpp di leen di ñaanal yal nañu gis suñu réew mi feneen foo xam ne fu baax la gën fuñ nekk tey kon ñu ngi ñaanal réew mi yëpp jàmm jërë ngeen jëf.
As we conclude this timely presser, we want to reiterate our commitment to transparency. We are a very transparent group. We are a very law-abiding group, and we definitely upheld the values of rule of law. And result, we definitely reiterate the values of rule of law in resolving matters of national interest. Matters of national interest are definitely matters that concern everyone. So therefore, let's apply the rule of law in resolving those issues. We would like to continue to provide updates as needed and encourage you to stay informed through our official channels and representatives. And we look forward to sharing and working with you as we progress in this journey.